guys, so today's video, it's gonna be rather different, alright? Because most of the videos, historical figures, science, math, etc., alright? But today, we're gonna talk about a history of something, not someone. That's surgery, alright? Now, I know that probably will tell you think that's very specific, alright? Just surgery. The thing is, surgery was done all the way back at least the 16th or 17th centuries. But the problem is, anesthetics weren't discovered. Anesthetics, aka numbing units, alright? It's a thing that, doctors use on patients to, make them fall asleep before the procedure because, they can't have a person alive, up and awake during the procedure because you'll still feel the pain of them cutting in, removing whatever they need, putting it back. So, they need them to sleep, and they, of course, cannot wait for them to, sleep because, it takes too long. And they want them, don't waste time. So, before that, it was for time, it was the speed and the efficiency of the surgeon that would depend on your life, alright? Because before anesthetic was discovered, you had to hope that he was fast enough and efficient enough. And if they don't have both of those, let's just say that this is going to be you. Alright? You're going to be dead. You're not going to survive if they're not quick enough and if not they're efficient enough. So that was a big problem for surgeons because they needed to keep them alive long enough for them to do a surgery, before they pass out pain. So before anesthesia was discovered, sometimes, they'd knock the people out, alright? Like, no joke, sometimes they were knocked out to do a procedure. And that's kind of very wrong because it will definitely give you a concussion anyways. So, yeah. So, surgery has many different types, but we're talking about basic surgery, cutting people open, doing stuff. But there's another type, and my personal favorite would probably be bloodletting, which is this ancient, very unconventional technique where they, just drain a bit of your blood because apparently it has sin. But we all know that's not true. Your blood doesn't carry sin. Not sin from where you know what I mean, but like sin from demonic tales and stuff. So surgery, eventually they discover a few types of what is it called? Oh yeah, anesthesia in the 18th century. The 19th century. Alright, there was a nitrous oxide. It's written like this. Chloroform. And something that we call laughing gas, alright? So let's start with nitrous oxide. So nitrous oxide was invented first, and they used it as a numbing or sleeping agent. But, however, you have to be two things, alright? You can't overdose them, and you can't have them give them too little dose, or else they might wake up, and an overdose would lead to them being poisoned and they'll die, alright? So that's one bad thing. Then chloroform. You can immediately see why this is a bad thing. If you've ever watched Tomska, alright, most of you probably don't know what Tomska is, but chloroform is basically literal poison, alright? Bandits, robbers, all over the world use it to basically just put over their mouths and then they force them to inhale it. And basically, it's just a poisonous, sleeping agent, which will definitely leave side effects on your body. Then there's laughing gas, which is still very inefficient because you know what? They're laughing, but you do realize they're also shaking, and when they're laughing, they need air. So that means you need an extensive air supply, more than necessary because of their laughter. And to add it together, it also has side effects, just like nitrous oxide and chloroform. All right. So most anesthetics today are usually just mixed chemical compounds or natural compounds. But whatever, and in Japan actually there was a person who did surgery by bring aromatic herbs and stuff, but it was stuck in Japan, and to this day we do not know what it is, so we cannot possibly find that natural method. Well, yeah, that was basically the history of surgery. That is very incomplete, of course, because surgery's history is very extensive, extensive. So obviously I cannot explain it all to you, and plus I have to go to sleep. So I guess this 5 minute video will do for today. All right. See you next time, and don't forget to like and subscribe so I can keep growing this channel.